Oh, hello there. Yes, well, it's Tuesday. We're rushing to the spring equinox. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Spring is sprung. I wonder where the God Squad is gone. Yes, indeed, that's what today's vid's about. It's about God and all his wondrous works. Maybe not. Anyway, yesterday I noticed in the Telegraph there was a piece by Nick Timothy, he of advising Theresa May. Remember, he got kicked out along with Theresa May. A little bit before Theresa May, because the MPs were hacked off about the fact that nothing seemed to be working, which seemed like halcyon days, didn't they? Anyway, compared to now. Anyway, yeah, he's standing as a prospective parliamentary candidate for the Conservatives, so it's worthwhile sort of having an hear out as to what exactly he's saying, because obviously he's a vested interest in becoming an MP to further his own political ambitions, indeed. So he was banging on about the Islamist threat. It's all too real, according to him. Gove understands it needs tackling. Muslim Brotherhood ideology is rife in Britain and globally. It cannot live alongside Western values. Yes, those values and British values and Western values that we're never really quite sure exactly what they are once again. And you can have a look at this yourself, the link down below. It's interesting to look at the comments, which of course are full of the usual Telegraph, frothy home counties people my age who are very upset at brown people and don't see any distinction between a suicide bomber and somebody that simply prays a little bit more on Fridays. They are as one, and of course they are as one in being a threat, because they may look like they're not a threat when they're, on the back of a Deliveroo cycle or driving an Uber, but we all know that they are. It's very much got that flavour. But what I was thinking of course, is when we go to this definition of extremism, and it's worthwhile thinking about the way that Gove said this. It's the promotion or advancement of an ideology based on violence, hatred or intolerance that aims to negate or destroy the fundamental rights and freedoms of others, undermine, overturn or replace the UK system of liberal parliamentary democracy or democratic rights, or intentionally create a permissive environment for others to achieve this, which is presumably what some people would argue that I'm doing. And of course we have government ministers that are on the Christian right that are somewhat concerned about this, because they can obviously sense that their particular opinions around trans issues, I'm thinking Liz Truss and some of the others. Liz Truss recently basically nicked wholesale parts of her anti-trans bill from legislation in the States, for example. And, Miriam Gates and the others of the anti-abortion campaigns, who very much fit that notion of extremism, and of course that would be bad if they were fell into that. But this of course ties into a much wider problem in the UK with what we might call the Christian right, because having been championed by our right-wing media for such a long period of time, you think of Free Speech Union, all of the anti-trans stuff that's out there, then we end up with this kind of notion about a liberal left-wing church that doesn't represent British people's values, which is a bit of a dodgy concept on any basis. And we, the British press have been quite happy just to hand notions of what it is to be a Christian to these people that are effectively Christio-fascists. Yeah, I'll refer you to, for example, Friar Calvin Robinson. God, he gets around in his titles, doesn't he? But anyway, think about this one from a little while ago. I am searching for a charitable interpretation of this, talking about the church, the established church, the church which is deeply embedded in the state. It seems like he sees no need for Muslims to convert. That would mean either he does not care for their souls, or he does not believe Jesus Christ is the only way to salvation. Either way, he is rendered unfit for office, and this is basically politicians daring to mention Ramadan. Now, think about that, okay? Friar Calvin, his God is the one true one, and the rest of us need to fit in with that, yeah? Because if we don't, our souls will burn in perpetuity, and he'll be doing us a favour when he comes round, because nobody expects, you know, the Robinson Inquisition, do they? Yeah, his major weapons are GB News, the Daily Mail, and all of the other ones of them. Yeah. These people are really dangerous because they are true believers. You can see the zeal in their eyes. You know, Connor Tomlinson's another one. James Esses and his own particular religious stint on things. Miriam Gates. You can see these people see exactly the types of things that they would really be interested in seeing. And they neatly fit that definition of extremism. But of course, we mustn't worry about them, those people with access to real power who have, you know, the hands on the levers of state. Oh no, it's your Uber driver, isn't it? And in terms of the Nick Timothy thing, you can easily see this stuff being really ramped up at the next election. It would be nice to have a crisis, preferably a huge bomb plot involving Uber drivers, obviously, and children, horses, small puppies, and oh God, a park. There you go. Which is foiled in the nick of time. We can't be told too many details about it, but you know, it was foiled, and we need to bring in new laws because lots of these people were on Palestinian demos as well. And you could see a manufactured crisis there. You could see Reform throwing their lots in with the Tory party. Just whilst this is a temporary crisis, you can see the Labour Party doing their usual can't be bothered to do anything to assist our natural supporters, who will throw all of their Muslim voters under a bus and agree to draconian new legislation in the name of stopping extremism, of course. Of course. And that catch-all net which will grab even people like me because I'm creating a permissive atmosphere. Think just that word permissive and the way that that's used by these people. Yes, anyway, I know I don't have any faith in the upcoming election because I'm still convinced they won't have one. God, I'm going to seem like such an idiot or a real seer. Yeah. Anyway, have a think about it. Do have a look at the comments under the Nick Timothy piece because they do represent the type of people that MPs listen to in their postbox. Okay? That's your Lee Andersons of the world speaking. And by God, they're determined that somebody must suffer and it ain't going to be them. Do have a lovely Tuesday if you can, while you can.